I started out as a lone wolf. That was the worst way to go. Find a mentor. Not just a mentor, someone who is killing it. I work with Vinsighte, an assistive technology company. It's like an AI company. We help the visually impaired to be able to like see and to be able to like move and do like their daily activities without being held back based off the fact that they can't see. Some of the features are like text-to-speech, computer vision, image recognition.
Is this a Nigerian company?
Yeah, it's a Nigerian company founded in Nigeria. I was founded in 2018 at the University of Ibadan.
Wow.
Where I graduated too. As a data analyst, you shouldn't have any ego. Like the data doesn't lie. The data doesn't care about your feelings.
My name is Ade-Akanbi, and as you know, we do this to bring you knowledge, information about processes, about solutions that exist in the data and AI world in Nigeria and Africa by extension. Today, I have a very interesting guest that will be taking us through something really interesting about careers in analytics, and also something that should excite you working for international companies as a data analytics professional from Nigeria. And we have with us today Damilola Babalola, who would introduce very shortly. But before we go on ahead, share this with anybody you know would find it useful, like, comment. If you have anybody you would also love to see on this podcast, please comment and we would make it happen. Damilola, it's so good to have you here today.
Thank you very much, Philip, for having me.
Awesome.
My name is Damilola Babalola. I'm a senior business intelligence analyst or developer, as you like to call it, or also like a data analyst. And so, I mean, over the years, I've worked with like different industries. I've worked with transport industry. I've worked with manufacturing industry. I've worked in the wellness, hospitality space, and I've also worked at the banking and finance sector. And currently, I work like in the healthcare sector. And right now, I'm a freelance data analyst. And my friends and my colleagues usually call me Dami. So like short form, like because it's very casual. So I currently work remotely and I work as a freelancer too. And yeah.
Awesome. That's incredible. I love the fact that you have a very interesting career story across industries, and they are all in analytics roles.
Yeah, analytics roles, like data analyst roles. And I think it depends. Sometimes I could be a data analyst, sometimes I could be a business intelligence developer, sometimes I could be a data scientist, sometimes I could be a data engineer. So it just
basically
depends
a
on
machine.
So it just depends on whatever I need to do to get the job done. And sometimes like I think like at Wema Bank, they used to call me full stack data analyst. I'm sure you remember. I just do whatever I need to do to like get the job done. And I think that's what kind of like sets me apart from like my colleagues, because the fact that I can like juggle roles within the analytics space. So.
Awesome. You mentioned when you were talking just now that you've worked, in the healthcare space, or you currently work in the healthcare space as well. Yeah. So what does that look like for an analytics professional in the healthcare space?
So like I work with Vinsighte, and it's an assistive technology company. It's like an AI company. We help the visually impaired to be able to like see and to be able to like move and do like their daily activities without being held back based off the fact that they can't see. So it works by like having like a smart glasses. Some of the features are like text to speech, where they are able to like read books, and there are like some like earphones where they're able to like hear whatever like the glasses is reading. So it also has computer vision. Computer vision in the sense
is this a Nigerian company?
Yeah, it's a Nigerian company founded in Nigeria. I was founded in 2018.
Awesome.
Founded 2018. And so like it's a Nigerian company and also a Canadian company. So like yeah. So it was founded in 2018 like in Nigeria, University of Ibadan.
Wow.
Where I graduated too. I graduated from the University of Ibadan. So it helps like people that are like blind to be able to like see. And for example, it also has like image recognition where it can tell what current surrounding are they in. Like for example, it could tell them they're in the kitchen and they're very close to the sink. They're like few steps away from the sink.
An obstacle.
Yeah, an obstacle, like it's currently like in front. So it's kind of like describes the environment based off like image recognition and also like using computer vision. And so one of the things I do for Vinsighte is majorly like analyzing using logs, try to like understand, are there like some errors? What are some of the ways we can use to like make the products better? And also, try to like understand like user feedback to be able to understand, what are some of the issues and how we can like improve the product. So, that's like, majorly like what I do, and like build dashboards and like, try to like, show like the key performance metrics and know how we're currently doing compared to like the previous month, compared year to date and the like.
Impressive. That's really impressive and very extensive as well. So regardless of what you do, in as much as you are an analytics professional, you can transfer that skill into any industry.
Yeah, because I think about that is usually like I would not advise you to bucket yourself into like a particular industry. So one of the ways I started looking at it, like when I started, was I tried to think outside of the box. I tried to like be creative. I tried to like imagine scenarios in my head and imagine projects in my head that what if I was asked to do this. So one of the things that also helps is try to like get business context, understand the product. So if you can understand the product, get business context, and you have problem solving skills, which is like one of the foundational skills like any data analyst should have. Once you'd have that, you'd be able to like survive and in any ocean like you're dropped in. So
awesome. Let's talk about you working remotely as an analytics professional. I was in a conversation some time ago, and the conversation basically meant, the person meant that, or was asking if it was possible, you know, as an analytics professional, how do you get your data? How do you even work with other people remotely and the like? So share with us, you've been working remotely for quite some time, you know, as a Nigerian in Nigeria, working for international organizations. What does that look like? And even on the side, does it not get boring?
So I mean, like, if you truly love what you do, like if you have a passion for what you do, I don't think boredom is a thing. Boredom is not necessarily a thing. And if you really enjoy what you do, you would want to keep doing it. And you just have to keep, it's going to be the case of you reminding yourself, oh, I think I've gone past my working hours. I need to stop now. So that's usually like the case. And I mean, like working with like international folks, it's, they're like diverse cultures. Like, I mean, like there's a different way that they operate. There are some people that if you text them past working hours, you're not going to get the response. And so like, it's just, the culture is kind of different from like the Nigerian company where, you expect to be on your laptop by like 8 p.m., like after working hours. So like some people like really like take all those things to like, art. And there's a case of unlimited PTO where you can just take, a leave if you are not feeling up to it. And I mean, it's a different environment, and you're able to like learn from people, and there are really smart people out there, and you're able to like see from like different angles. And I mean, it's very interesting working remotely, and you have like your time to yourself. You can work anywhere you want to work, provided like you have like good internet speed, because that's like a non-negotiable. Like you have to like have good internet speed. So like it's the case of me having like multiple routers in my house. I switch from one if the network is, so that's just the basic.
Interesting. Which is a problem very, very endemic in Nigeria, and according to some guests we've even spoken with, they've actually reinforced this as well. So let's talk about your career, or should I say your previous career journey. Looking at all you've achieved, what were the biggest hurdles you had to scale at different points in your life, in your career, where you faced them? How did you also scale them to bring you to the point where you are today? Please share with us.
So I think like when I first started out, I was operating like a lone wolf, which I would advise anyone who is starting out that that's a very bad way to go. That's not the way to go. Like you need to learn how to like collaborate. You need to like learn how to like speak with people, like converse with people, try to see from other people's angle, and also like connect to like your fellow like data analysts, data scientists. I mean, there's so much knowledge out there that they can possibly like share. And funny enough, like you might be working on a particular project, and all you just need is just someone to just say a particular sentence, and you'll be able to like figure the entire project out from like start to finish, and you have like a framework in mind. So I mean, like I've had like a couple of orders where I'm working with like non-technical people, where if you try to break technical things down or say things like in a technical way, they don't understand it. So you have to like go extra mile. They don't even care to understand it. So you have to like go extra mile. You have to prove to them that what they are doing shouldn't be based off, whatever decisions they're making shouldn't be based off what they feel or how it has always been. So you have to like, it's the case of you having to like prove yourself and try to tell them like the data is saying this, like let's do what the data is saying, and like you giving them recommendations. And yeah, that's like one of the orders like I had to like cross. And also the orders of where most of the time stakeholders don't even know how they want what they want. So you have to like do that, figuring that out. And the case of like and the best way to do that is by like collaborating and being a pest. Like my stakeholders, they know me, like my ex-colleagues, they know me. Like I try to ask, what are you trying to do? Why are you doing this? And these are like some of the questions you need to ask like your stakeholders. Why are you doing this? What's the purpose of this? It might seem like you're questioning them, like they don't know what they're doing, but like you need to know because
it helps you.
It helps you serve them better. So, for example, a stakeholder can say, oh, I want to see XYZ metrics. But whereas, like, you know that what that particular stakeholder is going to need could be like A, B, C, D to like XYZ metrics. So you need to like be able to like understand them and give them like what they want. So that's like one of the orders to like cross. Majorly like stakeholder management, how you manage your stakeholders. You can have like multiple stakeholders giving you like a project to work on, and the timeline is like very short, and you just have to just know how to manage your stakeholders, because like it could be the case, oh, I need it now. And that's one thing about stakeholders, they always need it now. And so you have to like just find a way to like learn how to manage your stakeholders. So those are like the major orders I would say like I've crossed. And in terms of achievements, I would say I could talk about like Wema Bank, where I was able to like I didn't need anything like in the team, like no documentation, and I was able to like bring everything up to speed within like a short period of time. And there was more need for data. There was more use for data.
This was not the typical analytics team. It was a role in another department.
So it was a role in another department. So I was brought in as a data analyst for that particular department. And that was where I had to like be a data engineer, be a data scientist, be a BI person, and also be a data analyst. So it was a case of me trying to like set up like data pipelines, set up like processes, automate reports, and create like reports, build models. And it was kind of like a lot, but I mean it was worth it in the end, because the team grew from that particular point, because there was more things to do with data, and there were more insights, and there were more insights to be actioned on. So the team grew like rapidly. We were like, I think we started out as maybe like 6, and we grew up to like 20.
Wow.
So like it was enough growth, and there was a case of, oh, I need data to do this, I need this. So, and it was a case of whenever they want to make some certain decisions, it's like, have you asked Dami, let Dami check data. So I mean it was kind of like a bragging right that they can see the need in what you do, and they can see the importance of what you do. So it's that's
impressive. Moving from banking industry, banking and finance to the health industry is quite a leap.
Yeah.
So what career paths do you think is out there for people that also want to get into the healthcare industry as a data analytics professional? How do they approach such?
I mean, like, one of the things you need to do, because there are like different sectors of the healthcare industry too. Like I work like with the assistive tech. So, it depends on what industry you want to work on, or what industry you find yourself. I think the major thing I'll see on is you need to understand what that particular sector, what they do. If you have the understanding of what they do, and you have an understanding of their operations, how the operations work, what are the processes like, what's like the framework, what's the product about, who are they selling the product to, you'll be able to understand how to go about it, and that way you can be able to like give give value to whoever like you're working with. So I think understanding business context is like the major thing as a data analyst, because like regardless of whatever sector you are in, you still use the same tool. You still use SQL, you still use Tableau, you still use Power BI, you still use Python. It's literally still the same skills, tech skills like you still use. So the only thing is that is just difference is like context, and you bring in like your problem solving skills and your collaboration skills to like work, because you need to like collaborate to understand what they are doing too. So yeah, I mean, like you could be a data analyst, you could be a BI person, you could be a data scientist, you could be an ML person. Like I mean, the possibilities are endless because everybody uses data in our current world. So like you can literally work in any sector.
Okay. Thank you. So we know that the healthcare industry is a very sensitive industry, especially in regards to data. In your own experience so far, what guardrails have you seen being put in place to protect sensitive data? You know, you've worked in the financial space, so you already are familiar with protecting the sensitive data. But now in the healthcare space, and I'm hammering on the healthcare space because many people can understand how data is used in financial space, right? Your statement of account is a data point, right? And a couple of other things that you do with banks or fintechs or the likes. But in terms of the healthcare, not so much awareness is in that space, or should I say, not so much. It's not as exposed as you see in the finance industry. So, what guardrails have you seen in place?
So I think the major reason why it's not as exposed to like keeping like customers' data and not trying to like put it out there is probably because like they don't pay fines in the healthcare sector, like the banking sector, where like if you leak customers' data, you know how many billions of naira you're going to have to pay. So I mean, like one of the things I'm majorly like put in place is I try not to obviously, like, let's start with phishing. Like I don't click links I don't click links
that seem
yeah I don't just click links. Like if you send me an email, I'll go to like your DM. What's this link about? You have to explain. That way, like if anything goes wrong, I mean, I have proof that you asked me to click the link and that kind of thing. And most times I don't usually like click links. And another thing is like, I mean, as a data analyst, like from like whatever course you're going to take, you already understand that data privacy is a thing. Like, I mean, it starts in almost any data analytics course you take or any data school like you attend. So like you need to understand that you don't want to be putting people's lives out there, and you would not like if your life is being put out there without your consent. So like you need to understand that, and you need to like have like some ethics in mind and try to like understand that you wouldn't want to be in that particular position. So I mean, it's just easy. Do not leak it, and always have a password. Change your passwords regularly. And when you're working, make sure that you're working closely like with people around you. And if it's the case where you work from home, just block your room and don't leave your laptop unattended. Always lock your system every single time you leave your system. I mean, if you can take those steps, I don't see like your data, people's data leaking.
I love the approach you've taken in responding to that, because you are clearly saying the responsibility is with you as a professional, not even the organization to protect this data, because it has been put in your store, has been put in your care.
Yeah.
So that's a better way to put it. So let's talk about building out projects, right? You've shared a great deal about building out projects, you know, in your former life, in your current life as well. What are some of the common pitfalls you have discovered and that you have also seen in maybe not your projects, other projects that has affected this project? How are these ways to, you know, prevent them or rewire the problems to solve, to become a solution?
So I think one of the major issues, like in my experience, like with projects, is usually like where you think you've gotten the context, but you actually don't have enough context. So you are doing what you feel the person said, not actually like what the person said.
And what the person needs.
And what the person needs, which brings me back to like, I'm always a pest, like when it comes to like working with stakeholders, so that I don't miss out on anything. And I don't miss out on anything that they want to do or what they're trying to achieve. Because you might have like a project, like let's say the deadline is like in 5 days, and let's say on the 4th day you're done with the project, and you're trying to like show like the prototype and this is where I worked on, and the stakeholder is telling you that, but this is not what I wanted. So like to just avoid that particular pitfall, it's just best to make sure that you communicate with your stakeholders. And another issue is majority of the times like there's this particular thing that usually goes on with stakeholders, which is like project rework. Like when you're done working on the project, they'll bring you back and say, oh, I forgot to add this. So that's why it's very important for you to actually like be a pest and try to like let them know every single step of the project that, oh, is there any other thing you like to add? Or there's something I thought about. I'm thinking of adding this. So that way, like you don't have to like do like project reworks, because like projects will never stop coming. And in order to like keep your sanity, you need to like make sure that when you're done with the project, you close that project for good. So to avoid like project rework.
Okay. And I think I would like to also add that when you want to start a project, especially in that regard, you first go speak with your stakeholders, like you mentioned, extensively, understand what they're trying to do. Then you gather your requirements. Okay, what are the things that would help me achieve these things that this stakeholder wants? You know, is it with data points? Where is the data stored? You know, you put it all together, start to then go from there. Because usually, a lot of times, if you don't do those first things and you just go head on into analyzing data, you know, building your Power BI dashboard and the likes, you realize that you've built something really incredible that nobody would use or nobody would find beneficial. Okay. Let's talk about artificial intelligence briefly. It's the talk of the town today, right? And from what you've shared, you've done BI, you've done data engineering, you've done data science. You know what it actually means to pull all this together. So you have these viewpoints from these different perspectives. How do you use AI on your job?
I mean, like, I think of AI as like my paddy. Let me think of it that way. Like as, I won't say assistant, because like, I mean, assistant is kind of like, it feels like the person's beneath you, but I see like, I see AI as like my paddy in the sense that, for example,
AI Paddy has a good name to it, though. Maybe somebody out there is working on something called AI Paddy.
That kind of thing. So, I mean, that could be talks for like a new product or something. So
please pay him.
So like the way I see it is, for example, I mean, before the rise of ChatGPT, I think that was like at around like November 2022. Before then, I used to use Stack Overflow, check forums. I mean, it might take
towards data science,
hours, towards like it might take a lot of hours for me to be able to like figure out, I just need to change a particular syntax. Like maybe like I'm getting an error. Maybe there's a particular way that I'm not able to like, there's something missing in that particular syntax. And I have to go through Stack Overflow, go through Power BI forums, Fabric forum, data science forums. I need to go through Kaggle forums, try to just go through like codes of data, lines of codes of data, and to be able to like understand what is wrong. And now that since we have ChatGPT, I mean, it's ChatGPT, Gemini, and the likes. It's very easy for me to like be more productive, because in case where like there's an issue like with a particular syntax, I'm able to like understand what is missing and why that affects whatever I'm working on. So for example, I could have a framework in mind. Maybe I want to work on a particular project, and I don't like working remotely. Like I don't have anybody I could just easily say, oh, what do you think about this? How would you go about this? Like there's nobody I could literally like ask. So I just ask that, this before I work on a project, these are some of the things I'm considering. These are some of the metrics that I am trying to like work on, trying to like show like in this particular project. And I'll just go about and ask like with the simple prompts that if you were a data analyst working for XYZ company, like in a particular sector, and you're working on this particular project, and these are some of the metrics you have, what other metrics would you think would bring more insights? So that way, like, ChatGPT would like generate like the results, and I'm able to like see more possibilities compared to like what I could possibly see before. Cause so I mean, like, it's just the way you just use it. So I use it as when I want to ask questions, when I'm working on projects, maybe when I want to like correct like my syntax, and that way I'm able to like understand a lot of other things. And also like I could use it to like get business context from like different industries, how other industry works, and what a data analyst does like in those industries, because I work as a freelance data analyst too. So like I mean, they just tell you, oh, we need you to work on this project, and they might not give you enough because business context. And based off the business context that they give, I'm able to like go to ChatGPT that, oh, what would a data analyst do on a day-to-day basis, like for these guys? What are some of the operations of companies like similar to this? Because as a freelance data analyst, most companies will not give you their operations. They won't tell you how their operations work. So you need to like figure that out yourself. So I mean, like,
and that is incredible advice, especially because for people that are out there, many people may be working as a freelance data analyst, data scientist, and the likes. So thank you for that. So let's talk about while you're working on a project, or the fact that in this data analytics space, there's always new information, right? Before you know it, you're working on something, there's a new information out there because people are just pushing the edge. So how do you deal with imposter syndrome that may come out from that, or self-doubts? You know, when you feel, do I even know this thing enough to venture into it? As for someone like you that has been in so many industries doing the same role, how do you get into an industry, understand that industry, and you are able to overcome imposter syndrome?
I think the best way I try to like do it is I see myself as I am nothing. Like I'm not that great. There are people that are better, far better. So when I know that okay, like I can still learn, that I've not learned every single thing. I try to like understand that, and I know that because I can't learn every single thing. So you understanding that will tell you that okay, you have the ability to learn, rather than you feeling, oh, I think I've arrived, I'm a senior data analyst. Oh, that then you now run into a problem, then you have like imposter syndrome, then you start thinking that you're not good enough. So I think the first thing is to understand that no matter how good you think you are, you are not that good. And I'm not saying it in such a way like to make you like feel bad or anything, but just try to that's the way it works on me. I try to understand that I can learn, that there are so many things I need to learn. So like if you have the learning mentality, I think you'll be able to overcome imposter syndrome, where you genuinely want to learn how the business works or how the project works, so you don't like have like imposter syndrome. And another thing is community and asking questions. Like the only way you can fully like get rid of imposter syndrome is, for example, if they ask you to work on a project and you don't ask the right questions because you're feeling like the other person would think that you're not that good, or you don't know what you're doing.
So you don't sound like a phony.
So exactly, like you're digging your grave. That's just where it is. Because when you ask questions and you're not shy to ask questions, you don't feel any shame to ask questions, whether it might sound like but like the questions the answers you get to the questions would definitely like put you through on how to go about it. So it's not the case of, oh, like I'm asking a stupid question. There's no stupid question. You need to ask all these questions, and that way you're able to understand what are some of the things like you'd work on the project, and you'll be able to like get directions, or, oh, if you need this, meet this person, rather than you assuming that, rather than you thinking, oh, I don't want to ask too many questions, because you are putting your ego in the way. Like as a data analyst, you shouldn't have any ego. Like I mean, like the data doesn't lie, the data doesn't care about your feelings. So you should try to emulate that too. Like I'm not saying you should not care about your feelings, but like I'm talking about like with work, your feelings don't actually matter as a data analyst, because you are trying to preach to other people that their feelings don't matter, the data matters. So you should be able to like emulate that too.
In God we trust, everybody bring data.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Awesome. So let's talk about something kind of away from what we've been discussing so far. So when do you think is the right time to move on from a company? Right, as a data analytics professional? And you've mentioned a great deal how you've been able to like you've spent some time across the industries, and it has actually grown your skill set, your capacity as well, handling data points from different industries, because data points in the telecoms industry is definitely not the same way with the finance, definitely not the same way in healthcare, in logistics, like you mentioned. So how do you do that? And also, when do you think is right time to pivot to another industry?
So,
in your opinion?
in my opinion, I think the best thing is to like plan. Like you have to like be able to plan. You have to know what you are doing. You have to know what you want to do. And that's the way it works for me. Like whenever I'm working like for a particular industry or for a particular company, like I usually like set timelines in mind that after a particular time, and these are some of the things I want to achieve. I want to be able to achieve XYZ. And after I've been able to achieve those things, and the timeline has gotten to the point where it's coming to an end, I'm now able to tell myself, okay, I think it's time to move. So, cause one of the things I find out is like if I don't do that, I would become very comfortable. And I mean, like everybody wants to increase their earning power, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, to be able to do that, you need to like always like move on to like the next challenge. And if you don't do that, you just find out that you're being so like comfortable and you're not necessarily like putting yourself out there, because it will get to a point in time where majority of all the things you'll be doing is going to become routine. It's just going to be like
so no new challenge
anymore. And depending on the company you work, sometimes like most Nigerian companies, they don't necessarily like appreciate change. So like if you are trying to bring in change, I saw something, let's work on this. Most of the times it could be the case of there's not enough resources for that, like in terms of like maybe
for
like
experimentation,
Azure infrastructure, or like for experimentation. So like it gets to that point where it feels like you're almost getting static. So anytime you feel like I'm being static, like there's nothing new to do, I think that's the best time for you to know that you're supposed to move, like where it becomes routine.
Go check out a new challenge.
Yeah, go check out the new challenge. Yeah.
But HR professionals will not like that. You know, everybody, HR professionals that I've spoken with, and I hope to even speak with somebody who is an HR professional but does analytics, so people analyst, where we want to even hear from you. How do you even deal with all these bits? But I feel, general HR professionals want you to stay for like 5 years.
Yeah, but like in the process of staying, like, am I growing? If I'm not, then why am I staying? So that's how I see it.
That's a very great way to think about it. Am I actually growing? Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to do more. You want to increase your capacity, and of course, make more money too. That's really impressive. Thank you very much, Damilola. We've been speaking on the Data and AI Gist. If you're watching us, this is the Data and AI Gist. If you're listening from all around the world, we've been speaking with Damilola. We call him Dami, who has been an analytics professional across industries, from logistics to finance to healthcare and many more. There's even real estate, right? So he sits on a whole lot of experiences, right, across industries. But we do this thing with our guest, Dami, where we say, time to blow your trumpet. So what are the things you have done early on in your career that sort of, not even sort of, that actually merged you or made you become what you are today?
Okay, so I think one of the first things, like I think I mentioned earlier that I started out as a lone wolf. That was the worst way to go. Thank God that I made a change to that. So one of the things that to like actually catapult you to the next stage is find a mentor. Not just a mentor, someone who is killing it.
Okay.
And someone
who's killing it.
Someone who you see yourself like becoming. So for example, when I was looking out for a mentor, I was looking for someone who is vast in data analytics, data engineering, data science, and BI. And so while I was looking for that, I needed to like speak with people. I needed to like connect with people on LinkedIn, try to like look for communities, search for people that have those skills I'm trying to like grow. And luckily for me, I found out that my mentor was even like we're in the same department in school. He was like a year senior.
Awesome.
And the way I connected, it was, luckily for me, that was luck, pure luck. And I was able to like learn from him. And also, one of the things that I think one of the major mistakes that most people make when they're looking for mentors is that they expect their mentors to be readily available, and they always like disturb their mentors. So like, and that way you push your mentor away because it's like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
And
true.
One of the ways that I was able to do that is, so like, we did like, bi-monthly check-ins. So by monthly check-ins, like I tell him
2 times in a month.
No, yeah, 2 times in a month, and it got to a stage where it was like once a month, once in 2 months. So
you don't grow now.
So now, no, it got to a stage where it was like once. I think the by monthly was like for the first 2 months. Then later it was just once a month. So like within our first time, I tell him that these are some of the things I'm working on. What does he think I need to work on to improve X, Y, Z? What are some of the projects he thinks I should work on? So that way, it's not the conversation of, oh, I'm having this issue, how would you solve it? Like this syntax, no. Like I'll figure that out myself. So like the case is just, guidance, what next? What should I learn? How should I learn it? What are some of the things I need to do? So that way you're able to like grow, you're able to like understand that majority of times when you're like in your job, there's nobody that's going to help you, like you're going to be alone. So that prepares you too. And and also like getting like a community, like having like a community of friends, like selecting your friends and understanding that there's so many knowledge that you can gain out there. There's so much information, and getting friends, like for example, I have like a couple of data friends and I learn from them, they learn from me. Like we just try to just learn from each other. There are some things I've seen that they've not seen. There are some things that,
especially with the volume of information out there.
Exactly. So that way we're always like updated. That's the best way to get updated. Like having like a community or joining a community, be a part of a community. That way you're able to like see new trends and new changes. And that way you're not going to be an archaic data analyst. Yeah.
Awesome. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. He has shared incredible advices for you. You may be starting out, you may be in your career currently feeling stuck. These are strategies that has worked for him. You know, it's something you can also look into to grow yourself, grow your career, and achieve success in everything you do. So again, before we go, we like to share that you need to stay curious. You need to keep questioning so that you can grow in your career, grow in your profession, or grow in your industry and impact the solutions you are bringing to life in your industry. As a data professional, you are a very key aspect of every organization because everything deals with data in today's world. So who is working as a data analyst in that organization? That person is the person that actually dictates strategy for the organization, dictates how you should go, how you should not go, because you can see the insight and you translate that to business intelligence for the team or for the organization. Thank you very much once again, Dami. It was a wonderful conversation that we had. And we hope we have some gist some other time because I feel there's still so much in the tank.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me, Philip.
All right. So thank you. There you have it. Share, like, comment, and bye for now.